In this film, we're going to do some basic assembly editing. Final Cut Pro allows you to do the same job several different ways. Some methods are quicker than others, so here's a nice simple one to get you started. In this example, I want to join together a few clips of some cuddly animals. So let's open the master clip in the viewer. Now we find the start of the first clip that we want to use and mark an in point. This is the button, cunningly camouflaged in grey. The keyboard shortcut is I. I'll click on the button just this once. An in point symbol appears here in the scrubber bar. If you want to change your mind, simply mark in again somewhere else and the old one is replaced. Now let's find the end of the section that we want to use and this time mark out or O on the keyboard. So I'll just back that up a little bit towards the end of the tiger shot. O for out. Don't worry about getting it perfect at this stage. We're only doing a rough cut. The next step is to edit this clip into your masterpiece. This red envelope-like thing is the overwrite function. Click on it like so, and you see the clip is now sitting in the canvas and has also appeared as a strip in the timeline. It's also parked on the last frame, ready for the next clip to be joined to it. So let's just find our next piece, or a bit of Leo the Lion, I think. So mark in, run it for a few seconds, mark out, and click on overwrite. If you want to review what you've just done, simply drag the timeline playhead back to before the edit point and play. See how the canvas and the timeline run together. If you need to trim or extend the last shot, hold the arrow over the end of the timeline, just on the end of the clip there. The selector arrow changes to 2 vertical lines. We can see it changing there as I move away, turns back to the arrow, 2 vertical lines. And you can click and drag to the left or right. So dragging to the right extends the clip, pulling it back to the left shortens the clip. Let's put in another furry chap. There we are. Okay. In and out and overwrite. Now I've put in a bit too much, but this time I can park the cursor before the end. Mark up my next clip. In, run it forward, back a bit, out, and overwrite. This time it has overwritten the remainder of the clip after the cursor, and the cursor is now sitting back on the end of the clip. If this was a mistake, simply undo from the edit menu, or Command Z. You can also mark an in point on the timeline. Let's find an in point here. I for in. In this case, the edit will happen at the in point, not where the cursor is. So the cursor could be absolutely anywhere. It won't make any difference. These 3 points are enough to define the edit completely. We've got an in point here, which is also the same as the in point on the canvas, and an in and an out on the viewer. Any combination of 3 points on the viewer and canvas is enough to define the edit. So you could, for instance, have just an in on the viewer and an in and an out on the canvas. The effect would be the same. So let's edit that shot in now. There it goes. But what if I want to add an extra shot in the middle of my film? First, mark up the required clip. And we'll have a couple of zebras, I think. In. Run it on a little bit. Too far, back a bit, and out. Now I need to find the point in the timeline where I want to add that shot, so I'm going to put it just before the tiger, like so. And this time we click on the yellow insert symbol. This will put in the new clip and push the rest of the clips down the timeline. In this particular case, it's pushed the tiger shot down the timeline. It's just like using a word processor in either insert or overtype mode. Don't forget to save your project regularly. using the File menu, Save Project, or Command S on the keyboard. And remember, this isn't the only way to do a rough assembly, but it will get you started, and it's all easy to follow step by step.